high school, because I was 13 in Form 1, and everyone is like, yeah, she's the youngest in the school. I'm in Form 2, I'm like, yeah, at least they are monos, they are who are now younger than me, but then everyone is like, no. I'm in Form 3, and a mono comes to me, she's like, even if you finish high school, we are going to get our ID at the same time.
Oh, man.
So it doesn't matter,
Wow. That's...
CTA with Mary video 2.
The tagline on this amazing show is, you never truly know people until you take the time out to get to know people. Which means is a lot of people see the glory, but few know the story. We see the CEO and founder of Glasshouse PR and a billion startups, and we have no idea how she's gotten to where she's gotten to. You just want it, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so, you're doing so well. Can you mentor me? And I'm not saying that from a negative perspective. I'm just saying, take time out to understand where somebody came from. So thank you so much for coming. I feel like this is mentorship on its own. Thanks. So, endelea with your story. Where we are, it's 2000 already. And you are below 15. How old are you at this time?
Actually, the story I was telling earlier, I went to church on October 20th, 2000.
2000?
Yes.
Hey, yes, sir. Yeah. Okay, that's where we are, actually.
Yes, that's where we are. Okay. Where now I was being introduced to this religious perspective, and I was learning ownership, learning. Don't blame anyone for, your experiences. Learn to now get out of those experiences.
Yeah. And let me say that you saw God at that time in that space.
Yeah.
Like He met you and had different. By the time you even have the ability to think like that at that young age, that's
interesting.
Yeah.
Then class 8 comes, and this KCPE, and I remember looking. My brother was at that point, because at that point I think he was in university, and he was a bright student. Those days, for out of 700 he got 500 and plus from the village. He's one of the kids who were picked, taken to proper school. So my time has come, and there's this whole conversation on, are you going to pass? And at some point, at this point, I'm not the top student. I'm just average. And there's this fear that was coming to my mind that I'm going to fail, or I'm not going to get a good grade. I don't know where that came from, but then I think it also came from the interaction at home, where it's just the way the African parents were, where you're being threatened. Now, Peter.
And your mom is a teacher.
And she's a teacher.
Yeah. And can I ask, at that time, that's your only ticket out, huh?
Yes.
Education.
Yes.
There's no other option.
I mean, you don't know anything. Actually, if you had asked me when I was in primary school who I wanted to become, before now my mind started shifting, I would have said I wanted to be a primary school teacher.
Because that's all you had
Because
seen.
that's what I had seen. At some point I said I wanted to be a nun, because I think I saw some nuns and they looked so nice in white. So I'm like, oh, maybe I also would like to be a nun, because that's what I'd seen and it looked really nice.
This, the thing that I'm hearing, that the one theme that is running across every single leadership CTA is exposure.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
You're talking about you are only exposed to this.
Yeah.
This is the negative aspect of it.
Yeah.
This is all you have seen.
Yeah.
So this is all you want to be.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or this is what you aspire to be, because that's what you've seen. Like in our village, I think the most sophisticated person was the head teacher. So if you now inspire to become better, maybe you want to be the head mistress.
That's the peak. That's the peak of it.
That's a peak of success, because that's what you're seeing at that point.
And we're not downgrading teachers in any essence. We're just showing that was the limited version of your potential.
My potential, yeah. So now I think also exposure to media, and also to this particular church. So interesting thing, this particular church was not in the village. It was in Limuru town.
Oh.
So it exposed me to other kids who were in the town. So there was a bit of exposure there in terms of meeting these kids who are speaking Swahili all the time and English. First of all, the English I'm being taught here is in Kikuyu, so my English is really bad. So I'm trying to keep up with these people who seem like they are cool. So that was also an interesting exposure in terms of as a young person.
So I've understood the church aspect. So, but then this class 8. Okay, so first of all, where were you getting the money to go to church?
So it's Limuru town. I'd actually walk most of the time, which is, I think maybe I was used to walking, it was quite far.
And it was a norm in your life?
Yeah, it was a norm to just walk. And
Are you walking with friends?
Yeah, now I've met friends there from like one girl from my village used to go to that church, so we'd walk with her sometimes, or I'd walk alone, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about my childhood was now I became quite independent. And this is because I was alone most of the time, and then I was charting out a path for myself for some reason, because my brother was not there. Sometimes kids would not play with me, so I had the boldness to, like when I was 11, to tell her I'm not a Catholic. I had the boldness to tell her, oh, I'm going to this church. I'd go with my neighbors, but then at some point I'd go alone, because my neighbors used to go, I remember, at the beginning, and then I started going alone because I became more committed than the people who invited me. I'd be like, I have to go for Bible study at 7 a.m.
Wow.
So I'd go by myself. I just walk by myself at that age, 11, 12, which was quite interesting. And also now media, the things I'd watch on TV also exposed me.
Yeah.
And then my mom used to buy the Sunday newspaper, which was quite interesting. So had the Young Nation, and so some of those things would expose me to a different life. So I'd read the Sunday newspaper.
Yeah.
So my mind would open up at that point.
And at this time, have you been to Nairobi?
No. Maybe
Wow.
maybe passing by there, but I'd never been. Of course, I don't know Nairobi.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I came to know Nairobi. It's after high school, and I was coming for college.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So so class 8. But first and foremost, you and your brother don't sound like you have a relationship.
Yeah,
is it because of...
Yeah, because now when I remember I was in class 1, he was in Form 1. So the whole time he was in boarding.
Yeah, I get it.
Between class 5 and class 6, we kind of interacted, but then he went to Nairobi University at that point, and he was away. So
later on in life now, if you've not had that relationship, first and foremost, even when people have had that relationship and there's separation through travel, at least they've got the younger years to come back and then have a relationship with. You get?
Yeah.
Have you been able in your later years now to form a relationship?
Yes, we are good friends. Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that now an intentional decision that you had to make?
Well, I guess because even after he finished campus, he went to Canada. He actually is not Kenyan. He doesn't stay in Kenya. So, but we have a good relationship.
Oh, so he's not even in Kenya?
Yeah, he doesn't live in Kenya. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So you've got other brothers.
I got other brothers, you know.
So class 8 now. Let's get there.
So I want to paint the picture of the exposure I was getting.
Okay.
And so because you asked whether I'd walk to church. Yes, I would walk to church, to Limuru town. And then when either class 7 or class 8, I was still quite interested by the entertainment industry. So one day I read in the newspaper, there's this artist who is going to come to Limuru. It was a big hotel, it was called Manga Corner, and he's going to perform. I don't even remember who it was. So I decided that the next day I'm going to walk all the way to Limuru and go to Manga Corner. Of course, they didn't allow this kid to get in. But I remember going and sitting outside there, and I'm like, oh, I've come for an event. And then I went back home.
They're like, you're not entering.
Yeah, of course you can't enter. Yeah. You don't, because you need tickets. They can't allow kids, etc. But then I found that interesting. I don't know. I remember that thing because my mom didn't know where I had gone to. Later on, I came and she's like, where had you gone to? Yeah, I'd gone for an event. Yeah, so I used to have a lot of that boldness, and I'd take up things and do them by myself.
Also independent.
Yeah, I was very independent.
Yeah,
that was quite interesting.
You sound very, very independent.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know why is it time for us to enter class 8?
Yes.
Okay, sir. To enter class 8.
So the fear of not passing the exam, but well, we did the KCPE, and I got a grade that So they ask you to choose particular schools you want to. Again, the epitome was this school in Kiambu. I don't even remember. St. Anne's, Njoki. You know, I thought that was it. It's like the alliance of alliance.
Yes.
Because that's what people have painted in your head.
But Alliance is in Kiambu.
Oh, well.
Okay,
I don't
actually,
think
you're not even in Kiambu.
it's in Kikuyu.
Yes. It's in Kikuyu, yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, wow, this is it. But then they never chose me, so I was not happy.
Oh.
Then when I finished, I received a letter from, it's called Meriliki, St. Meriliki as well. It was a good school. But for some reason, which I also like.
Is it the one in South C? South B?
No, it's still in Kiambu.
In Kiambu, okay.
Yeah, still
Okay,
in Kiambu.
that means it's different Merilikis.
Yeah, it's in Kiambu. It's an okay school then. I don't know about now. So I remember and that's why I like how truly God orchestrates people's life. So she's being moved without knowing that this is what is required for this particular child. So she decided to go look for this school called Kagwe Girls, which was like a precious blood school. So they had precious blood in Rirota, and then they had precious blood in Kagwe, the nuns. So she decides to go and inquire about it. So she go inquires, and then you're told for you to attend this school, they don't look at your marks, they interview you. So you meet a nun. So you go, you meet this nun, she interviews you, she asks you, she checks whether you're disciplined, she checks whether you're smart enough or whatever, I don't know what, because you don't do any written exam, you just talk to her.
Verbal, yeah.
And then she says, okay, you'll join this school. So I ended up going to Kagwe Girls.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
And what year is this now?
2002. 2002, that's when I went to Form 1.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's in Kiambu.
It's still in Kiambu, yes.
Okay.
It's in a place called Githunguri.
You know, now we're in counties. Kiambu County is huge.
Yes.
It's like from this side. So was that a distance like from where you lived?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to go to Kijabi, and not Kijabi, sorry, Kemende, which is before Kijabi.
Yes.
And then you cut across to before Githunguri, which is connected now to Kiambu town.
Yeah.
It's in between there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's between Limuru. It's in Dari division. It's like in a forest. The school was actually like in a forest and very far from the main road.
Wow.
Yeah.
And for context, this place is cold.
Yes.
That's in fact, when you talk about Limuru and cold are synonymous. The fog is so insane.
Yeah. I tell people, if you come from Limuru, you know the difference between a mist and a fog. That you have studied them. Yeah.
What's the difference?
You have studied them. You can tell. You have seen them.
And it's a mist.
Yeah,
It's very fog.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
So, but now you're going to boarding.
Yes. It was very exciting. So when you're in the village, and I don't know whether it's a mindset we also had at that particular time, for you to go to high school, in your mind it had to be boarding. Actually, I was dreading if I fail, I'm going to go to a day school. I didn't want to go to a day school because it was a Garariga girls secondary school. And it's not that there are people who got allowed for them to go that particular path. But for me, I went to this particular path. And one other context that you need to understand, where we were in the village, girls will start getting pregnant at now when we're in class 8. And there are many people, like 40% of them, immediately we finish class 8, they don't have means, they don't have ways to go to high school. So they immediately now, that's the end of their life in terms of schooling, and now they get married. So that's the context I'm growing in as well.
Wow.
So I remember there's a girl we start KCP with, she was pregnant. So that was also the norm. And then after high school, when I'm in high school, you're told, oh, this and this person, got married, this one got married, this one has a child, this one has 2 children. So that's the context, that's the place I was also in at that particular point.
And this is normal.
Yeah, it is
so
normal.
It's when you're hearing, so for you, this was not the route.
I didn't go that route.
But was boys an option to the potential that this could have been a route?
When I was in high school, maybe, but then remember there's the
Touch.
Religious aspect
Yes.
that helped me. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy. As a father of 2 girls, I can imagine finishing. This is the beginning of life.
Yeah.
Now, first and foremost, mistakes, again, as you clearly said, they are carried by the woman.
Yeah.
So the boy will still continue.
Yeah, with school, yeah.
He'll still continue, whether he's become a father at this age.
Yeah.
But now here's the other crazy thing about the village. The father may be 10 years older than that.
Yeah, person. Yeah.
Which is some other illegal levels.
Yeah.
But the third hindrance is finance.
Yes.
So you're not going because you guys were saying you are struggling to pay 1,000 rent.
Yeah. Yeah. And funny enough, like when my mom went to this other school that was starting out, I think that's the time the president introduced free education or free. She told me in class 1 she had kids who were like my age, 13 years old, 14 years old, 15 years old. Then class 1, they are my like age mate, and then but I am like in class 8 going now transitioning to high school.
So was high school going to be free?
No, primary school for me was free. But I think I never used to be, I don't think I used to pay all the school fees for some reason. And then now Kibaki, I don't remember, Kibaki introduced it in 2000 at some point.
You know, privilege is a good thing.
Yeah.
You
don't even know there was free primary school.
But no, you know, there's something you've said that, and what I mean is privilege hides you from some things.
Yeah.
So I do, of course, know those free primary, but not from the context that you've just shared.
Yeah.
That people could not afford to go to school.
Yeah.
It was never even an option for them.
Yeah.
That the moment free education came, they started class 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that
Around
old
when
man
I was class 6, 7,
I remember that old man who sat for his KCPE, but this story hasn't been told.
Yeah.
This story of the 19-year-old or 14-year-old who is starting class 1.
Yeah, I know a boy who was like 13, 14 thereabout, who was, many in her class. Now the school she went to, when I was in class 6, 7, they are 7,
Hey, you're opening up my mind in ways that you can't even understand.
Yeah.
BN the other day said the biggest lottery in life is where you're born. I found that so profound. We don't choose where we're born.
Yeah.
So you end up going Kagwe?
Kagwe Girls.
Kagwe Girls.
So I go to Kagwe Girls. Very interesting school. So it's a school.
2002.
Yes, run by nuns. And they have so many rules. First of all, one being that you have to go to church every Sunday. So it's a Catholic school. So remember, I'd disconnected myself from Catholic, but then I've been taken back to a Catholic school, and you have to go to Mass every Sunday. There are other, I don't remember whether it's during Lent, you have to go to Mass every day from 6 a.m. There are different aspects in that way.
I love the indoctrination. It's beautiful. Catch them young.
Yeah. So, yes. And remember, I had seen nuns. I used to admire them, wanted to be one. So it was quite interesting to get into that school. But now I get into this school where there are different kids from different places, and they're actually now kids from Nairobi. Hey. And then... They're kids from Nairobi, and they have their own clique, and they're the cool kids. And there's a way they would define different things for us differently from who is the most beautiful. So there are all these things, concepts that they were coming up with, who they know. So remember my love, and I forgot to tell you. So because we didn't have a TV, I had formed also a very interesting relationship with the radio. So that was quite interesting.
And that's a big era.
Yeah.
1999, 98, 99, 2000.
Yeah.
Kenya music is blowing up.
Yeah. So how do I want to show them, even me, I fit in, but because I have information, because each time I'd listen to Talia or who was I listening to? So I know I know everything. I'd ask my brother to get me the insider. So I have information just to come back to school and tell them. Even me, I know. So there's even this time I went back to school when I was in Form 2 and told them I actually went to Chaguo Latinis and I saw CMB Prezo come with a helicopter. I had never been to Nairobi.
But you had the info.
So now what I said there was I was now really trying to fit in.
Click.
Yeah, I'm trying to fit in. And still now this thing for being young became more visible in high school because I mean these are teenagers, and because of what people have learned, they try to, I mean, or because of the society. So you're becoming a teenager, so they try to compare each other, who is more beautiful, who is
Puberty.
more cool. Puberty, there are all
Yes.
these things happening. So
Breasts,
yeah, all
hips,
these things
all those
happen.
things.
Yes,
Okay.
all these things. And kids are like, you are the youngest. So I knew I didn't even, primary school, yes, but then I knew I was the youngest now when I was in high school. Because I was 13 in Form 1. And everyone is like, yeah, she's the youngest in the school. I'm in Form 2. I'm like, yeah, at least they are monos. They are who are now younger than me. But then everyone is like, no. I'm in Form 3, and a mono comes to me. She's like, even if you finish high school, we are going to get our ID at the same time.
Oh, man.
So it doesn't matter,
Wow.
So there's that. So I was really trying to defend myself. Remember, now I had developed a mechanism of defense. I'm still, you see, religion doesn't distill to you how to live out life in God. So I still have these many rules that you learn from religion, but I don't know how to distill that actually you can be set free from having defense mechanism. So most of my high school was very defensive.
Okay, just explain that to somebody who may be there.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
what do you mean when you say religion doesn't allow you to distill or break free from all of this other prejudice coming?
So I'm looking at myself at that particular age. I go to church, I've done Bible study, but still I have these issues in me that have not been addressed. But all I'm following are rules, like go to church on Sunday, pray every morning, or have quiet time, do these things. So religion came to teach men to do certain things or to follow rules, but not to have encounters with God, where now you can actually say, I have a walk with God. And because I have a walk with God, I'm set free from this defense thing that I can say God is my defender, and it's actually accurate. I don't have to defend myself.
Wow.
Yeah, because you say that at that point you'd be like, God is my defender. Maybe there's a song we were singing, but still you're there defending yourself. You're like, I have to show them. Even me, I went to Chagolatinis. I have to show them. So nothing is happening. Like nothing is being distilled in you. You're not changing in the inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask you another big one?
Yes.
Now, your tongue is heavy. In terms of that, I mean, you've talked about the Nairobi kids coming.
Yeah.
And so were you being dissed about that?
I mean, there were many of us. I mean, we were
Oh,
cool.
you're the majority. No, but do you, at that point, does it hit you?
Yeah.
You see, the thing about being put into different cultures, it doesn't matter if you're a Kenyan who lives and goes to the UK, it doesn't matter if you're a Coastarian who comes to Nairobi, it doesn't matter if you're somebody from Nyeri who comes here, Kisumu who comes to different, the moment you change your geographical location and go in and engage with a different culture, you begin to see your differences. And your differences are not wrong. But people, because they're coming from a different place, can make you feel like your differences are wrong.
Yes, so they may, I mean, one of them was, you're not from Nairobi and we are from Nairobi, so we are cooler than you. Number 2, we speak better English than you. Number 3, you are the youngest. You're not beautiful, probably don't have bigger hips than you don't have big hips like this and this person. Mostly I don't know why the hips were an issue.
Boys!
Or you don't have a bigger bum than this one. Like there are all these things that teenagers would compare themselves with, and then they would come and make you think they're better than you because they have these particular things. But now, of course, later in life, you're like, surely someone had many insecurity, and that's why they were loading that on you. So, from a wisdom perspective, you're like, wow.
Or even
how sad.
Some of this thing is indoctrination. You talked about media. The power of media. The reason this channel is called Cleaning the Airwaves, it's because we are trying to paint a different narrative of different situations in life. Because also, number 2, I understand the power of media. Monkey see, monkey do. Exposure, as you said it. And you are talking about reading a certain magazine that then gives you information and things like that.
Yeah.
So beauty, in an essence, was painted in a different context.
Yeah.
And even till today,
Yeah.
beauty is painted in a different context. Hence, you can look at some of the products which sell the most on shelves.
Yeah.
You didn't come up with that on your own.
Yeah.
Somebody painted something.
Yeah, when you're darker, you thought you're not beautiful enough. Yeah, like I never thought. So I used to think people who are lighter, they are more beautiful. Yeah, and it hit me. It didn't hit me then. You see, you carry so many things. It hit me later, which I'll share.
Okay.
But then you carry all this. It's like I was just sucking in information and experiences. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, in high school, I especially Form 2, I really tried to fit in.
Did you date? Are you boys? Because that age group and boys is just a natural thing.
Yeah.
Or the different sexes.
Yes, I did. I did at 14 when I was from the church. From the church I used to go to. I don't know that it was dating.
Man, Jesus guy.
I don't think it was dating, but it's it was
Yes.
into those in that way. So I'd go so that I go to school and tell them, even me,
I've got a guy.
I have a boyfriend. Yeah.
And what about in the context of now going to, actually the two schools you were before, they were mixed.
Yes.
So now in high school, do you go to boys' schools? Are you involved in music? Are you involved in extracurricular activities?
So this is a very interesting school. First of all, we never used to see boys, and
it was none to the core.
It was none to the core. So on Sundays, there's a school that was like a boys' school that was like a brother school. It was called Gatamayo High School. I don't even know. So the boys, we'll fill the church, and then there will be like 10 boys who would come. So we would fight on who is going to sit at the back so that you just stay there and see the boys. So those are the boys you'd see, and also what do you call them? The altar boys. And you'd be very happy to see boys.
You guys are starved. Testosterone, where is it? That means you guys didn't interact with other.
So what happened, apparently,
even sports.
Apparently a few years before that, some people went for drama festival and they came at 2 a.m. and drama festival was cancelled.
Wow.
What else? So the only way you'd go for a trip would be for Science Congress. I don't think I went. And then the bus would only hold 36 people. So I remember like that term, we never used to have a midterm. So you can enter school whatever month, 3 months before, and then you leave school when you're going home. You are in school the whole time. And this is a school you cannot run away. It's in the middle of the forest. It has, I don't know how many gates. There's a convent there where the nuns stay. There's a church. And then it's far from the road. So it was quite an interesting school. And probably I thank God that he allowed me to go there.
Yeah.
Probably he was just protecting me.
You're being hidden.
I was being hidden.
Yes.
Because it was sometimes it was like military camp, even the way they used to handle things, the way the responsibilities we would do. It was quite an interesting school. And
at this time, has your exposure moved you past teacher?
Yes.
What do you want to be that?
I don't know, for some reason when I was informed. Okay, first I wanted to be a rapper. I don't know from where.
Rapper?
I know.
So can you drop us?
Yeah, wait, no.
Can you drop us?
My brother, it came from, also my brother tried rapping when he was in campus. So that inspired me. And then he used to listen to a lot of rap music. I forgot to mention this. So when he's around, we'd listen a lot to rap music. That's how...
Local or
both local and international.
Did you listen to Esther?
Yeah, I listened to Esther later by myself.
No, for real?
Yeah. But the first song...
Hey, did you hear that, guys? Put some respect on my name.
I mean, I have your album.
No, for real.
I have your album, yeah.
Just with me. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of myself. Anyway, but you wanted to be a rapper?
Yes.
I
Actually, the first song,
no,
there's someone who did a song called Jesus Nonsense. I'm sure you know who that is.
Juliani?
After he transitioned from Kalamashaka to...
Yes.
So I remember my brother playing that song and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I mean, of course, before that, there was Nazizi wanting to be a rapper. So I don't know where that idea came.
Okay, you loved music and entertainment.
Yes. And the radio was quite helpful because, you have a small radio that's...
That was your escape.
Yeah, that was my escape.
And your entertainment and your fun.
Yes. So I did consume a lot of radio at that point.
So what happened to the rapper dreams? The rhymes were, the tongue was heavy.
It wasn't rapping. The rap was not rapping. The rap was not. Yeah. So
There was too much. One, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 3.
I still say thank you. Thanks.
I dismag a lot about that. So
Yeah.
that's mind blowing, though. Like, I mean, as much as we're making fun about this,
Yeah.
I want to also bring in the context of exposure.
Yeah.
You are clinging on to the next best thing that you're being exposed to.
Yes.
You get? So
Yeah.
your teacher Nan at this level, I mean, rapper, you're desperate for exposure. It almost feels that way. Like whatever you're being shown, you're like, whoa.
I can be that thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Do you do well in school?
Yeah. I mean, it was a it was a good school.
Okay. Do you
Average.
have friends? Do you have friends who you're like, Yani, Jerry was my girl too? You're in there for 3 months, or is everybody acquaintances?
I will share that. Maybe now in high school.
Okay. Yeah, because you're in high school now.
But I don't even my friend who became my friend later after high school, not even in high school, but she was from my same village, from my village, which is quite interesting. I'll come to that. So I think when I was in Form 2, I don't know where I came. So there was the rapper aspect, and then I came across computer science or something to do with computers. I don't know how.
Whoa.
I cannot explain, but I remember now, because you choose certain subjects for Form 3 and Form 4, you either choose business, computer, agriculture, or home science. I'm like, I'm not doing home science, no.
Trauma.
I'm not doing agriculture. I can do agriculture, but I'm not doing agriculture. I'm not doing, for some reason, the commerce teacher used to choose her own students. I knew she wouldn't choose me. I was not I knew I was not her candidate for me to choose me for business. But I was like, oh, there's something exciting about computers. So now at that point I started getting interest in computers.
Wow.
Yeah. Because now that school had a computer lab, which was also quite interesting.
That's ahead.
Yeah.
This is 2003 by this time?
Yeah.
By the time you're choosing these subjects?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a 2-minute break. You've entered an exciting part.
Yeah.
Not to say it's all exciting, but you've entered another exciting part. We'll be back in a bit.